actually, there's a lot more things I need to include about that. So in this time travel things, not only was it just like experiencing staying in a room or living like what either a servant or a middle class person or a higher class person, but it's actually um, it's a bit more than that. It's actually you can actually have like tour groups where they show you like how to be a miller where they show you how to do. I've done tours where they show you how to do to do these things, and I've been to so many National Trust places where you get a taste of what it's like and you get to see it. But I've always wanted to take it like one step further, so you don't just get a taster of what it's like to be there, but you actually get a real taster, as in you get like the costumes, you get the outfit, you maybe even get told this is your job for the next 24 hours, you have to do this. And it won't be like too more work focused. It would be more just about maybe an hour doing this or an hour doing that, or you can either get like a day thing where you experience like you can even get roles where you do the same thing for the whole day, or you can get just a mixture one where you do like an hour each job for an hour or something, and you learn how to actually. You can even go into like a printing shop and you can actually print out your own print. So saying this is what you would do if you were a printer working as a print man, or if you just like kind of a 1 hour job experience at all these different places, and then also get to stay in the sort of cottage area. So you can have one which is like a cottage area where you can have lots of little houses for the poorer people. I think that was actually probably more middle class. I think that the lower class was really like servants and scalumes and stuff like that. But yeah, there's lots of things that you can go with this. Hence why I kept my design started off really small, just like one house, and then I was thinking, oh, we can do this and then this, and then I just ended up having like such a big plan for it. But I liked the idea of being able to, and the reason why I like that so much is because I've always believed in reincarnation, and I've always wanted to know what my past life was. And I don't know, I kept thinking like, was I a scalume? Was I one of these things? How awful it would have been and stuff like this. But in my religion, I'm going to massively preach about reincarnation and saying that gay doesn't exist, because if you're a guy dating another guy, well, both of you have probably been female in your past life or in one of your past lives, and or many, and therefore you're not actually dating. You're not dating a man or a woman, you're dating a transsexual, basically, because everyone in the world is a transsexual, unless, of course, you have only. I don't think there's many. I think some have. I still feel like Justin Timberlake has only ever been male. But at the same time, there would have been some stage where he would have been an animal, because all souls came from being animals. So, although I think he's only ever been male, which could be why he's got such a, I don't know, he's got a vibe that's kind of male only. But yeah, I feel like even then, there's before you would have still been animals, and they have ended too. So, but yeah, there's no such thing as that. But yeah, that's once I preached this religion about the importance of how that you were all alive 2000, well, not we were all alive in the past. I can't say exactly which dates. If you had a really terrible life full of suffering, you probably learned to be a much better, nicer person. Hence, you didn't have to come back. Whereas if you were someone who was, a slave owner beating people, you would more likely come back straight away, because the judgment of you would be like, well, you're a shitty, horrible person, so you need to stay in hell. And technically, the further you go back, so here's the timeline. This is the actual hell when Adam and Eve was the lowest hell you could possibly go. Technically, they weren't just two people coming out of nowhere. They were cave people. But yeah, you would not want to live in a cave tribe, because being beaten by your friends for fun would have probably been like a kind of normal thing. Hence, it was the worst hell on earth. And okay, we are getting, you would say, getting better, but because there's so many people here, I feel like there's just so much suffering here. But um, there's a timeline, and when I promote my religion, people are going to want to know what they were in their past life, and I feel like having a time travel hotel, or something that can kind of remind you. It might even remind you. I don't know if it will remind you, but to be in these different scenarios, this could have been you. You could have been a scullery maid from the Tudor time or Edwardian time, or you could have been a butler, or you could have been a queen, like my sister. I mean, she's not very bright or anything, but I think she was a queen at one stage, very long time ago. Well, a lot of people weren't very bright back then. It'd be nice to have just like a time travel theme park hotel, which is kind of lots of hotels in a big area where they have different ages, and then you can, I don't know, if I would fund something like that. If well, I'd have to wait a few years to see. I don't know. I feel like something's going to happen around the corner that's going to be really bad, and I feel like it could be sort of Noah Ark styled bad, e.g., a lot of people start going mad. So I think it'd be better to see how many people can cope with the fact that God can time travel and that I'm God, and how many people could cope with the fact that there's singers and celebrities that have been writing songs kind of about me, but at the same time, if they start like going in, if they start listening to these songs and start believing that I'm talking to them through these songs, they're going to start going mad because they're going to start listening. I have, when I analyze these songs to try and work out what the angels represent, I feel like I'm going mad because I feel like these angels are talking to me. And then I also start getting vibes like with that Angel of Bliss one. I felt like just listening to her songs and thinking about her kind of made me feel like bliss, yes, but probably a bit more sexual than I usually feel because, well, anyway, but yeah, I feel like I when I look at the angels, I kind of develop whatever they represent. I feel like I feel it. Like when I listen to the Doja Cat songs, I feel far more sexual than I usually do, and it's like they affect my moods and stuff. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of people that might listen to these songs and believe that God is talking to them through these songs, or through the male songs as well. If they reject me and want to I don't know, believe that God's talking through the boy bands or whatever. I mean, I don't know. There's going to be lots of people doing lots of things, and people might start going mad because of it. Yeah, I would encourage people not to do that if they are listening to me, because it gives you a big headache, and it's not pleasant at all. Because you start getting wrong perspectives of what I'm like, or what is actually going, what people are actually thinking, or what God is actually thinking, whatever. But yeah, anyway.